All right, let's start with something positive. We have genuinely better and better looking COVID updates over the last few weeks globally and in the United States, and today is no exception. Questions we're asking right now before we look at the data. Is this the last wave? We don't know. What will the winter look like? We're not yet sure. How much more do we need to vaccinate? Quite a bit, but we're not totally sure. Many other questions as well. Let's start with cases. Since the daily Delta variant peak of about 167,000 cases per day, the United States is now down 39% in daily average cases to about 102,000 per day. Outrageously high. But as more and more people get vaccinated, cases will mean less and less. Dr. Isaac Bogosh last week told us, but we're not there yet. And for now, 39% daily case reduction is a very good thing. In terms of deaths, in general, you know this by now, rule of thumb, deaths follow cases by 3 to 4 weeks. Deaths are continuing to do so. Deaths now down about 20% per day from their Delta peak. The Delta peak was about 1,900 deaths per day. We're now down to about 1,600 deaths per day. Still a really high number. Remember that a typical flu season is about 36,000 deaths a year. That's like 100 deaths a day. So right now, we're at 16 times a typical flu season's daily deaths. 16 times. That's an interesting metric, by the way, to compare when we think about the relative risk of death from COVID when we're out there. How does this compare to a flu season over the course of a year? And the truth is, it's not really like this because your 36,000 flu deaths are concentrated during flu season. That's why we call it flu season. But on average, 100 flu deaths a day is what the U.S. sees in a year. We're now at 1,600 COVID deaths per day. Globally, we are seeing cases continuing down about 35% since the Delta peak. And then, of course, global deaths as well have peaked at about 10,300 a day. Those are now down to about 7,000 global deaths a day. That's a reduction of about a third, 31% to be exact, in daily global deaths. So that's good. Now, how about vaccination? Well, as we talked about last week or the week before, the U.S. is getting embarrassed. The U.S. is rapidly declining in terms of the percentage of people vaccinated in the U.S. compared to other countries, particularly compared to other so-called rich countries. Take a look at this. The leaders in vaccinated percentage are the United Arab Emirates, tiny country, followed by Portugal, which has 10 million people, Chile, Spain, Singapore, Uruguay, Canada, Denmark, China, Ireland, Italy, Finland, France, Japan, UK, Brazil, Germany. Then you get to the United States in vaccinated percentage, just ahead of Turkey and just ahead of Mexico. What happened to us? We had all the vaccines earlier than anyone, and we just can't do it. People aren't getting the vaccine. It's horrifying what's going on. It's embarrassing what's going on. And we've talked about it so much. And then lastly, the global vaccination effort overall has also slowed down. Globally, we had gotten up to about 45 million vaccines per day around the world. We're now down to roughly half of that, about 23 million vaccine doses per day. If you look at the global population, that means each day we're vaccinating 0.29% of the global population. Call it 0.3. Just under a third of 1% of the world is getting a dose each day. Getting that back up to 45 million doses a day, even 50, 60 million doses a day would be absolutely huge. But the good news, no thanks to the deniers, no thanks to the anti-vaxxers and those spreading the disinformation and misinformation. Cases down significantly, deaths also down. Let's hope it continues. We'll check in next week and hope that the numbers are looking even better. One of our sponsors is Allform, hands down the easiest way to custom build your own sofa. You choose the premium fabric you want. You choose the sofa size, shape, color, even the color of the legs. You can customize every aspect of your new sofa to make sure it's the perfect fit for your home. I got my first Allform sofa a year ago. I just got a second one, which is really exciting. These really are the sofas I would have bought for my home. Even if Allform was not a sponsor, you really can't beat the quality, the modern minimal design. The sofas are spill, stain, and scratch proof. You can buy one piece and start with that, and then buy more seats and accessories to add on later. Shipping is fast and free. You get 100 days to decide if you want to keep the sofa. It comes with a forever warranty, and you'll get 20% off when you go to allform.com/Pacman. The link is right underneath this video.